You are now rocking with the Fresh Coast icon. Got the game in the vice grip like a python. It's Uno. What's up? You already know what it is. BattleRap.com, Hip Hop DX. Shit. And I'm here to talk about Back to Basics 3 that's going down in the Bay. I have the fortunate pleasure of being the co-host with my homeboys Organic and Malathion. It's going down. Shout out to Avocado and J-Pro for putting together an incredible card. I'm super psyched about this. Like the way these matches came about, it was almost like it was magic. It wasn't even supposed to be such a big card, but so many factors came together. And like it started out, you know, Back to Basics, where the whole concept that Avocado came up with that was just strip everything down, as far as like the way that it's shot, the way that it's constructed, the whole vibe of the crowd, and you know, not having to pay an arm and a leg for rappers, just doing it for, you know, showcasing cats that are representing and putting on for the culture and for the scene. And it started out like that, but it just really, this event grew wings, you know what I mean? It grew wings of its own and just took off. So it's really crazy how organically it came together, but now we have a mega event on our hands. You need to get your tickets now, KOTDTV.com. Buy that. If you can't make it, you can still get the pay-per-view, so support the culture, you know what I mean? It's going down. Obviously, the first battle that I got to talk about is Disaster versus Joni. Now, a lot of people you know, this battle's not a new concept by any means. Like, people have been wanting to see it ever since they've seen Joni come out. There hasn't been somebody who's so stylistically similar to Disaster, yet still has his own personality and own approach, but still brings the same intensity as Joni. So it's crazy, like, you know, Gully's been trying to put that match together for a long time. Shout out to him. The homie Nakai and I were originally going over that for the Massacre card. So it's really, you know, Smack URL, we're trying to get it set up, but it had to go down on this card. We're bringing it to the Fresh Coast. We have one of the most vibrant scenes right now. We have some of the most talent we ever have. It's like reaching its apex. Like, people thought that, you know, our golden era had came and passed, but I really think right now with this new crop of talent juxtaposed with our current legends, like, we're able to, you know, respect to everybody else has been putting it down, respect to the East Coast, respect to the Midwest, the South, you know, across the pond, all them. But the Fresh Coast is here to hold our motherfucking own. Now, Disaster versus Joni, it really is going to come down to how much control over the environment the MCs have. You know, it's a big adjustment for Joni coming out and having to deal with such a big crowd. It's going to be interesting to see how Diz, you know, with Diz is a wild card. We never know what we're going to get, but whatever it is going to be explosive. So shout out to both of them. That's just about to be lit as fuck, you know what I mean? I say that the key factor for this battle, since, you know, nowadays we don't even have wins and losses half the time, the key factor is going to be environment and how the MCs deal with and adapt to that. What else we got? Pats versus Arsenal. Really, I mean, like, Pass to me has been one of the most slept on dudes in the West for a long time. He hasn't really gotten his just due. In his home court, he's pretty much unfuckwittable, and the battle's in the Bay. It's not in Oakland, it's in San Jose, but still, you know, it's the same shit. Like, fools are ready to hear what Pass brings to the table, but Arsenal is the king of disrespect, and he doesn't care, you know. He goes to other people's environments. He's comfortable wherever he's at. So that battle's going to come down to how seriously Ars takes it and how Pass is able to keep his composure when dealing with the disrespect that Ars is inevitably going to dish out to him. So if Pass allows it to get under his skin, it's going to throw him off, and you're not going to get that top-notch Pass. But Pass in his top form, it could be an ugly day for ours, so we gonna see. Thesaurus versus Fresco. Now, this is a match people have been wanting to see going back to the grind time era. Fresco, like, is still considered amongst the top pens in battle rap, and that's really hard to do considering he hasn't battled that many times in the past few years, but his name still pops up so much in conversations that he gets top names like Thesaurus. And you know, Thesaurus, like, he's a dude that he wants to get, like, he's transcended time even beyond that, like, because he was already OG veterano when Fresco was coming in the game, and he still has it, and he's still been putting in work consistently. Like, he's another dude that's super comfortable in any environment and knows how to play to the crowd. But, you know, when Fresco, every time, like, the positive thing about MCs that don't oversaturate themselves is it's a breath of fresh air when they do come. And Fresco, like, you know, people want to hear those bars. They're already going to be hyping him up before they hit. So, like, it's exciting to see. So that one's really going to come down to, I think, how much. Like, I already know Fresco's evolved with the times. So it's really going to come down to whose material hits harder, obviously. And there's a lot of ammo that you could use on both of them. You know, Thesaurus obviously has home field, but Fresco is a second home to Fresco. So that one's really a toss-up. I think we're definitely going to see Thesaurus push to his brink of lyricism, and whoever comes with the harder rebuttals, because I think bar for bar they're going to be dead even. It's whoever comes with the harder rebuttals and just captures that moment, that's who's going to take it. What else we got? Dirtbag Dan versus DNA. Now, we've been waiting for Dan to battle DNA with DNA's voice for, like, since the inception of the Dirtbag Dan show, because a lot of people do a lot of imitations, but, you know, like, Dan embodies the toothless spirit of DNA's past. You feel me? Like, he does it in such a flawless way. But at the end of the day, DNA's got crazy bars, and, like, he might even have the advantage in that category. You know, like, he's an insane freestyler, but Dan is at home. He's in San Jose. So shout out to Dan for also helping put together this entire event, because it wouldn't be popping if it wasn't for him. But, like, he's gonna be in his zone. He's out for blood for show. What this battle's gonna come down to is, will DNA be enough to overpower DNA? So we gonna see. Reverse Live versus Only One. Now, this is a dope battle because these are two guys who's been putting it down for the Fresh Coast for a long time that haven't fully gotten the recognition that they deserve. Now, with Reverse Live, like, his thing is, like, we all know that the bars are there. Lyric for lyric, bar for bar, scheme for scheme, he's up there. It's just a matter of him actually getting the material out. And I think that now that, like, being on a card like this, that once a card takes on a life of its own, it creates this aura of everybody is going to bring their best foot forward, and everybody wants to really prove themselves. And Reverse is like, I really hope that he just feeds off of that energy and allows himself to just kill shit and not stumble, because I know Only's going to come out for blood. We just seen what happened with him and Joe Cutter. It was a crazy battle. Only One is really, really slept on dude. And I think the big thing with Only is people kind of aren't up on him as much because he doesn't really put himself out there as much on the battle rap front. We know about his bars in the Team Backpack Ciphers. We know about his dope-ass music with Ilmac and the Sand People and things like that. But people don't know just how potent he is in the battle format. And I think that, you know, he's been killing it on all these Back to Basics cards. I think this is his time to really see if he can excel to the upper echelon of the Fresh Coast and battle rap in general. So both of the MCs have a lot on the line. Whoever's hungrier is who's going to take it. It's obvious. It's going to come down to who wants it more. Mad Flex versus Lou Cipher. Now, Mad Flex is a dude who's been putting it down. He came up through the ranks of the Battle of the Zay series as well as Ground Zero battles. He's a really, really humble dude. He's just played the cut and steadily killed people in every single battle he's had. I mean, we really haven't seen him have a bad performance. He just really hasn't had a proper showcase to really, you know, really show people where he's at. And now that the Fresh Coast is at its top form, it's time for light to get shed on dudes like this. So Mad Flex, he's getting his shot here on this card, you feel me, against Lou Cipher, who himself, he comes from Florida, and he's one of the top dudes out there and has been killing fools for a long time. And people just are unaware of him. They see the name on the card, they're like, who is this guy? But, like, trust me, I heavily co-sign both of these dudes. Like, this is gonna be, it's gonna be like Wolverine versus Sabretooth. You feel me? It's just gonna be like flesh and blood, and, like, fools are gonna be going at craniums, like cranial decapitation in this battle, like both. But it's good. The question is, who's going to get their head chopped off? Now, obviously, Mad Flex has the home field advantage, but this kid Lou, man, watch out. So he's definitely got he's got a very varied skill set. So I'm excited to see that one. Once again, it's going to come down to hunger and control of the environment. That seems to be the prevailing theme throughout all of these battles. So I'm excited. I get a front row seat. You get to come through and smoke a blunt with me, and we can all enjoy it together. It's about to be extra turn. Oh boy, Big K versus Caustic. Now, even though Big K is from VA and actually had his earlier battles in the URL format and other formats outside of KOTD, he is a KOTD Fresh Coast MC in our eyes. Whether he don't got to claim that title if he don't want to, but we definitely rock with Big K the long way, and he's had some of his best performances out here on this soil. Him versus Ilmac a couple years ago, definitely one of the most defining battles of this era. Big K is a punchline beast. Like every single bar hits hard. It has a realness and authenticity that just vibrates. Caustic, one of the meanest dudes ever, and he's very consistent as well. The thing about this battle is both of these dudes actually are cool with each other in real life. Like they fucks with each other. So it's gonna be interesting to see how cutthroat is Caustic gonna get, because Caustic always sends a brutal message in his battles, and normally he battles opponents that he really wants to destroy, but is he gonna wanna do that against Big K? Now, we've seen that he's capable as a lyricist earlier this year in the Back to Basement series when him and Pass, who were also homies, battled, and it was pretty much just who has more bars, and he definitely, proved that he can hang when it comes to just spitting bars. But, Big K, that's his department, so how mean is Caustic gonna get? How potent are his bars gonna be in comparison to Big K, who's just we know is just certified banger after banger. So it's gonna be interesting. I know they both gonna be talking that shit. I'll definitely have to put a coat on for that battle because I know it's gonna drop like 20 degrees in that bitch. But yeah, how mean is Caustic gonna get? How much ricochet is the kickback from Big K's Desert Eagle gonna have? These things and more will be answered at Back to Basics 3. Back to Basics, B-A-Y, you feel me? And the final battle on the card actually is a ground zero match. We got Frack versus Koma. Frack is a local favorite in San Jose. Dude is hilarious. He's brings it back to the era of when just the comedy, and I love that essence. Why are people afraid to have fun? It's like every day, every single battle, people just gotta ice grill each other, and it's gotta be pocket checks. Well, pocket checks are pretty funny. We can still have pocket checks, but I don't know, man. I definitely like the element that Frack brings to the table. Now, Koma's really dope, and he actually, he has a lot of realness. If you watch his battles, the third round, he always he gives it to him real. So, it's gonna be interesting. It's kind of a clash of styles. I hate to use that. That's a term that's been cliched since 2012 now, but this genuinely is going to be a clash of styles. But both of these dudes are super hungry. It was one of the first battles booked for the card when, no one really had any idea of the magnitude of what this card was going to become. But I know that these guys have both been working really hard and been prepping their asses off. So, we're going to definitely see some dope ass shit. So I'm excited. Back to Basics, Part 3, Lush One. I'll be co-hosting in the building. You already know it's a Fresh Coast function. Oh boy, yee.